RoosterTV, and today we're joined by our star defender, Cameron Craig. Cameron, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Subs. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. Obviously, with yourself, you're injured. We'll quickly go through that and how it occurred and what you're about to go through in rehab. But South game, a couple of minutes to go. Just talk us through what happened from there, mate.
Yeah, I reckon there was about 2 minutes left on the clock. I went to tackle someone. I actually tackled him with my left arm, and unfortunately I got stepped on as I was rolling in the tackle. And yeah, instantly, I actually didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was a corky. Went completely numb and then put the ice on. After I took the ice off, I realised it didn't look quite the same as the other side. So unfortunately, I ruptured my pec. So I got a scan the next day, which showed that. Already been in, had surgery, got it fixed up, and now on the way to recovery.
And in regards to recovery, mate, it's not a light injury by any stretch of the imagination. Just talk us through your rehab and how long that's going to look for you.
Yeah, so I've got to catch up with the surgeon at the 2 and the 6 week mark. I'll be definitely in the sling until 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, and then the whole length of recovery can be anywhere from 4 to 6 months. So yeah, definitely out for this season, and then I'll be back in time for next, which is nice.
Yeah, probably only one positive from that, I guess, mate, is you probably missed most of pre-season. So, Serge, mate, me and Cameron might just have an extended break and we'll see you in about March, I reckon. What do you think?
Mate, yeah, that sounds perfect.
And obviously you're not playing, it's just disappointing, but you've still got a pretty big role to play around the club. Just talk us through what you've been doing over the last week, especially with the defensive group.
Yeah, so it's obviously a little bit hard, a bit challenging, but I've definitely been making sure I can get out to every training. Game day I was going out helping with some of the backs, especially some of the younger boys, and even some of the reserves players, just because they can always get a little bit better with development and things like that. And it's also a different set of eyes, I guess, because it's a lot different on the sideline compared to on the field, in terms of you can see a lot better with positioning and things like that. So yeah, I've just been trying to be positive as much as I can, try and help everyone out a little bit, and hopefully we can get it done in a couple of weeks.
And your own form this year, mate, we might as well talk about you while you're here. Personally thought you were great yourself.
Yeah, I reckon it was. Actually, when Reva had a chat with me the other day, and I reckon it's probably my best year so far. A couple of years ago, I thought I was pretty good as well, but yeah, I think I was pretty lucky because I played most of the game with a pretty settled back six, which helps a lot. And especially when you're winning most games, it obviously helps because there's less pressure up the ground. But yeah, I was pretty happy with my year, and hopefully I can get better next year.
A couple of mark of the year contenders, I reckon, mate. You took a few flyers and happened to grab a few, so yeah. Certainly on BNF Night, I'm sure we'll see a few highlights of Cameron Craig with a couple of big hangers. But on to the weekend, mate. First off, we went down, the reserves went down to Elizabeth and took on Sturton, a first semi-final. Sudden death, winner goes through to the prelim, loser was out. And after a dismal first 15 minutes, the boys didn't look like they were there to play. They definitely turned that around and were quite convincingly the better team for a long period before stopping in their tracks late to only get up by a goal. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, got nervous at the end there. I think it was probably the last couple of minutes, had it locked in there, forward pocket, but we held on. The boys have been going really well, so it was a good game on the weekend. I think pressure was up and about, and you could tell after probably that first 15 minutes marks of the first quarter, we were able to get on top, and luckily we had a couple goal buffer that we actually held on. But yeah, the boys are going pretty well in the twos, which is nice.
They are. And we had Adelaide Oval this week. The reserves are on at 12:15. They take on Central District, who were the minor premier, only lost one game for the season to the Eagles, and the Eagles got them done again. So big game for the Resi's boys this week, and they get to play on the Adelaide Oval deck.
Yeah, so definitely our reserves, they know how to get up for this time of the year. So I think they played them probably 5-6 weeks ago out here and only lost by a couple of goals. So I think they'll take some confidence into that, and I'm pretty sure they were up for most of that game. So that's good, and obviously we've got a pretty good team in reserve. So I think the bigger deck will suit us as well. We've normally played pretty well at Adelaide Oval in both grades. So yeah, hopefully we can keep the ball going.
Yeah, reserve, especially the second half of the year, they've won 7 of their last 8. So they just need to continue to do what they do, and hopefully we can get the chocolates and they can join the league boys on the big day next week. So on to the league game from the weekend. A great result for the guys. They got a very good start, got out of the blocks quick, and then tough toughed it out all day and beat a very impressive minor premier in the Eagles. Just your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think we're looking at the vision on Monday. I think the moments was a big thing that got us over the line. I reckon the second quarter they were coming pretty hard at us, and we just stayed tough, stayed to our game plan, and we were lucky we were still up at half time. And then second half, I think we just played the conditions a little bit better. Definitely in and around the footy, with some of our midfielders getting some ridiculous tackles numbers. I think that led the way, and then from there we just kept the momentum going and got up at the end of the day.
And a couple of guys that had big moments, especially in front of the big sticks, in Will Coombe and Kim LeBoyce, both kicked some pretty clutch goals going down the stretch.
Yeah, I reckon the Will Coombe one was a little bit against play as well. Just snapped it out of the stoppage, and I think that every time we kicked a goal, the boys were up and about, and it just flowed from there. So yeah, some big moments there.
And moving on to this week, obviously the league have a bye, and as mentioned, the reserves do play. What's training look like for the guys tonight and for the rest of the week?
So I think tonight will be pretty stock standard. The reserves will train again on Friday ahead of their game on Sunday, and then the league boys will have Friday night off, but they'll have a pretty decent hit out on Saturday. So not quite a normal game, so we're a little bit fresh going into the granny, but they'll definitely do a bit of running, which I'm sure they're not going to be that happy about, but they'll be ready to go for the next week. It's good.
And then moving on to next week, we have the McGarry Medal will be on Tuesday night, be live streamed through the Facebook page. Just some guys from North Adelaide you think will poll well, and if you've got a winner from another club, you can throw them out there.
I reckon it's going to be interesting to see how Kumi goes, because his year on paper and being out there on the field has been absolutely unreal. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes with votes. So hopefully he's up there. And then blokes from other teams, I reckon a little smoky would be from Glenelg, maybe Snook. I reckon he's had a pretty good year and normally goes pretty well with votes. And maybe Crossy, he might be up there, and a couple others. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a very interesting count, as you mentioned, mate. I think Coomey, Andrew Moore, Harrison Wigg, a few of those guys might poll a few votes. So it'll be interesting to see what we get at the end of the night. So. Okay, thanks, mate. It's been a great chat. As mentioned, we have the reserves this Sunday, 12:15 at Adelaide Oval against the minor premier Central District. Hopefully, we can see a big crowd out there in the red and whites, and they can join the league boys next week in the grand final, with the winner to be decided this week. So we look forward to watching them bash and crash, and hopefully beat each other up, and then we'll see who we play in the grand final. So, thanks, mate.
Thank you.